Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the EGL Gears Open here, live from the beautiful city of Sheffield. Toby Campbell here. Joining me is Fru and this incredible, polished, amazing venue as well, Alex.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Beautiful place.
I think it's the best venue we've had in Europe
100%,
probably. So
100%.
yeah, fantastic. Can't wait to get the Gears underway.
Yeah, indeed. Just players arriving into the venue right now. Games already getting going in the side station just behind the camera. We have literally got, I think, the best seats in the house right now, Alex.
You pay good money for these.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Nice little raised platform to see everybody playing. But yeah, I guess lots of storylines going into this one. It's the first European event since November, since EGL London. Brilliant event we had there. But there's been a lot of roster changes, Of course, Fable's recent success in Vegas, Supremacy as well, 7/8. People don't really talk about that because, of course, Fable getting that second place has been huge for the European region. So, yeah, there's a lot of things going into this event that he's discussing, and I can't wait to see what transpires this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you're right. Supremacy, 7th, 8th. They really did get outshone by Fable, but Jesus, they did well. They did so well. And that's kind of our first storyline, I would imagine. We've got Supremacy coming into this event. They've had a fantastic event over in Vegas, and they've come here with a roster change.
Yeah,
like they've changed it. I'm not sure if it's a final roster change or if it's just a temporary for this event just now. But we're seeing Dynam, who was their coach over in Vegas, fill in as a player this weekend. So be interested to see how that really plays out for them, because they were on fire in Vegas.
Yeah.
We really don't want to see a worse Supremacy at this event.
No.
Especially because we're gearing up to that Supremacy Fable, battling heads again at the end of this event on paper. But with that roster change, opens up that second space for quite a few teams coming into this. DZ, Odin, they'll all be looking for this spot and that chance to kind of take down the Kings.
Yeah, for sure. And we have to actually talk about that replacement, Dynam. He's replaced none other than Baghdad, right, who is a mainstay of this roster all the way since Gears 3. You've had a few core players swap in, swap out here and there, but that player, that's a big one for me. He is the main, one that puts it all together for me with the French side. And, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how much is going to affect them, but I don't see it being a positive thing at all, this event.
No,
Alex.
Me neither. All credit to Danham. He is a good player in his own right, but you're right, Baghdad is a step above, and definitely interesting to see how that will go. Should we have a look at the brackets?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right, let's get the brackets on screen.
Yeah, so this is how it's going down. Fable, of course, have a bye, being the first seed. No surprise there. And you're probably wondering, who are all these teams? Well, they're familiar teams, many roster changes, but many new orgs have joined the European scene in time for this event. Of course, you see the Supremacy roster there down towards the middle of the screen versus Evo Esports, 15th seed they are. Regal Reserve, of course, that's PAM. Essentially, a little bit of a roster tweak there. We don't have Jack Reaction this event. They are back to their full Spanish authority there, and looking to see how they can actually perform this event. I'm sure there's going to be big things from them. But first off, we're going to have Odin versus Hound Esports just below.
Yeah, definitely. Odin, obviously the kind of Fable reserve squad. We've got a lot of top players here. So you've got your J Rage, you've got Ash, who's there, who was their ex-coach and player. We've got Sammy on that roster, and they're joined by Godflex and Incisive, fantastic players in their own right. So a real strong squad. And then on the other side of the table, we've got Hound, who are pretty much a brand new team coming into this. The roster right now is Savage, Melvinize, Dobby, Lance Queen, and Agonize. Lance Queen obviously has been to all of these events, but as a spectator, I think it's her first event actually competing, which is fantastic to see. So yeah, it's going to be a very tough first game for them against what is really a very seasoned roster.
Yeah, I think we have true favourites going into this one. There might be some nerves as well from Hound Esports, fairly new players to the scene, as you said. Lance Queen spectated loads of events. First one, competing, but plenty of 2Ks under the belt, I'm sure, as a team. But yes, that's going to be an interesting one going into it. Of course, further down the bracket, Devious Gaming, 6th seed as well.
Yep, Flanks and Co, Bradmate, Mush, Breaker, Demonic. We've been speaking to Breaker recently. He's got mixed hopes about that team and that event, but I think they're a good core group of players, and they've played together a long time, most of them. So maybe they'll bring something out here. Maybe. And yeah, against Beware Gaming. So this is Rowdy's team. You know, he's been doing a lot of work for the Gears EU Twitter, and you know, he's always at these events. His team with Simo and Blade, potentially a good team there. I think this will be quite a good matchup as well. So that bottom of the bracket looking pretty feisty.
Yeah, Dylan as well on that Beware side, and that is just, you know, a really true core of shotgun power and just individual raw talent. You know, some of these players might be a little bit rusty, you know, competing in Gears 4, but boy, are they experienced in the game mode of execution and, you know, playing with each other, game battles, matches, online tournaments, you know, you name it, they've played them all, and I think that could be kind of like a dark horse, a surprise team to really take off guard, you know, any of these, you know, 4th, 5th, 6th seed teams hovering around that area. So yeah, curious to see how they actually get on this event as well.
Yeah, definitely. There is one matchup I want to highlight here: Team Lucent and Aerox.
Okay.
I think these teams on paper match up really, really well. So for those not in the know, the Aerox team is Saki's team. So Saki's coming in with Crump, TJ, Ashens, and Brad. And from what we've heard, you know, in the grapevine, in the rumors, this is a real strong team. You know, they are down in that 9th seed place, but they've been playing very, very well online. Hopefully they can transition this to, you know, to a LAN environment, and then obviously Lucent on the other seed is Cougar's team, who, you know, everyone's been kind of hyping them up a little bit as well.
Yep.
So I think this will be a real strong matchup, and both of those teams battling out to face Fable. So, you know, it's a key matchup there, and I think whichever team gets that first win in, we'll give Fable a run. You know, I don't think they'll win, but I think they'll give them a run. So quite a good one.
Yeah, indeed, and of course Team Lucent is kind of like the evolution of GA, right? And we know how they performed in EGL London. Surprised, shocked many teams, but I believe they beat Jack Reaction's team at the time as well, Era team, and that was a bit of a shock as well. But they've got a lot to prove as well. You know, I've talked about it a lot in online CAS. A lot of these foreign players, they're so experienced online, but just not as experienced at these events to the British counterparts. So we'll have to see how they perform actually, and you know, high hopes for them though. High hopes for that roster in particular. Yeah,
definitely. They did perform extremely well at London, and if they bring that same momentum, that same hype into this event, maybe, you know, could upset a few of these top level teams, or, you know, top seeded teams, because they came in 16th seed last time actually. So these top seeded teams, it would be an interesting storyline to follow throughout the weekend. Yeah, pretty intense bracket for sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. With this game coming up, we're looking at Odin on this team. Yeah. They, on paper, should be a very strong team. Yeah. But how do you think they really match up against the likes of, you know, Supremacy, the likes of Fable, like, even DZ, because they are that on the cusp team, right? They're on paper they should be very, very good, but really they're yet to kind of just get over that line.
They've been a little bit inconsistent, safe to say. In Vegas, it was kind of a disappointing performance overall and placement. They definitely didn't, you know, have the limelight, shall we call it, as the teams of Supremacy and Fable did. But yeah, extremely inconsistent. They performed very well online in many 2Ks, but then they've had some not so good 2K events. Of course, that performance in Vegas. Lots of questions will be asked of them this event. You know, can they really perhaps take down Supremacy while they're, you know, down without that Baghdad player, star player, of course. But yeah, I think this first day will tell a lot for us. I don't see any dramatic changes day to day going on. I think it will be, you know, all these players, especially the likes of J-Rage, Sammy, etc., everybody in that roster, you know, well, most of them are experienced playing at international events, as I said, at Vegas. I think this, you know, home turf, back to basics, local European event, I think, you know, that could be a bit of a morale boost, a bit of a confidence boost. And I think it's all set up for them to perform, but will they perform as, you know, as good as they hope?
That is the question right there, right? Will they perform? And I think that's on a lot of teams' mind, because I don't want to harp on too much about Vegas, but looking at the open bracket there, we saw two, you know, really strong European teams go in. Yeah. Both of them missed out on pool play. DZ, you know, they got pipped to the post, and, you know, this roster as well with Ash, you know, didn't quite make it. And the DZ roster should have made it through. I honestly do think none of none of those players will have wanted to go into that championship bracket and the losers bracket. And making pool play there would have been that confidence boost you were just talking about, right? And it's kind of paramount now that those couple of teams, those teams that really trying for those pool play spots, do well at this event. Because there's a lot of pro points on the line, right?
Huge amount of pro points.
68,000 pro points across the top 8 teams.
Yeah.
68,000. This can really swing the European region.
Yeah.
In you know, if one of these third, fourth place teams managed to creep up to that second, first place spot, it can really swing who we're going to see over in these international pro circuit events. And for teams that are on the cusp, like DZ, like Odin, this is the event to do it, really. This really is the event to do it for them.
Even the international teams have paid attention to how much pro points and money is on the line. They're like, whoa, just for a regional event, this amount of pro points on offer. People are actually concerned. Are we going to fall behind in pro points from these top European teams? Of course, Fable placed in second, and all the pro points that goes with that, Supremacy 7/8, and then they see this this regional event. And many, North American pros and Latin American pros, like, whoa, teams are going to start catching up now. But yeah, I'm just getting word, actually, folks. We're waiting for both teams to be set up and ready to go on the main stage behind us, the beautiful main stage, might I add. But yeah, I guess we should leave all the rest of the talk for when the game starts going, guys. We'll throw it to a quick break. When we return, we should have this game up and running. Please don't go anywhere.